Hi guys, in this video tutorial I am going to explain how you can simulate obstacle avoiding robot using Proteus. So obstacle avoiding robot is something that detects the obstacle and it moves away from the obstacle and it changes its direction. As you can see on the screen, so it has an ultrasonic sensor, it has Arduino, it has two motors which used to propel the driver in left and right direction. This left and right direction, and we have one motor control IC, that is L293D, so which used to control the motion of the motor both in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. So these are the components is required to build the entire obstacle avoiding robot. So let's simulate this in Proteus. So quickly we will open Proteus. And I will create a new project. And we will name this as, click on next, 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 and click on finish. So our work window has been prepared. Now what we need to do is we need to import all our components over here, and we need to start making our circuit. So as I mentioned previously, so first we need a controller, that is Arduino Uno. So just type Arduino and Uno. Okay, Arduino Uno. Click on OK. So we will place this component over here. Okay, so it's been placed. So I will keep it over here itself. Next thing what I require is a sensor. So we will use ultrasonic sensor. Ultrasonic sensor. Here it is. So one thing I want to mention here is HCSR04 is something you need to download from the internet, and you need to import that in your library. You can get a lot of video for how to import the library, and you can also find this sensor online. So if you don't, please drop your comments in the comment box. I will reply to that with a link so that you can download from there. I'll place it over here. Next is motor. So we'll use a DC motor. Let me search. Yeah, simple DC motor. We will use this. We need two DC motors, so let me keep it over here. Another one. Yeah, so to run this motor we need a driver, so we will import L293D, that is motor driver IC, L293D. Click on OK, place it over here. This seems very close to the controller, so I will try to move this along. Now after having all of this, I see something is missing. Any guesses? So yeah, so all the components has been placed, but what I see, we need some indicator or some display device so that we can know what is the activities going on in the controller. So for that we will use a 16x2 LCD display. So let me add that as well. LCD display. Let me type 16x2. Here it is, 16x2 alphanumeric LCD. Click on OK. Let's place it over here. So now all the components has been placed. Now it's time to do the wiring. So this time I will use another technique of connecting all the circuit. So I want you to have a closer look. It is quite helpful for you because I don't want to mess up all my circuit, placing all the wires and later on it will be confusing for anyone who is using it. So what I will do, I will go on the terminals. Here I will click on default and I will place this default over here. So now I need to place around 14 default pins. So instead of placing that again, what I will do, I will rotate this first at 180 degree. I will copy it, right click, copy, and one by one I will paste it. Let me try to paste it. Copy, next, paste. Similarly, I will select all three, right click, copy, and paste. I will select 6, right click, copy to the keyboard. Sorry, my bad. Copy, I need two more pins to connect this. So copy this and I will paste it above for pin 6 and 7. Yeah, so almost done. I had selected all the pins. Now it's time to do the connection. So I will connect this one by one. So it doesn't matter about the alignment. I know it is still deviated, but that's fine. So it's done. Now it's time to give the name for these pins. So double click on it and just rename this as digital pin 0, digital pin 1, should be D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D9, 10, 11, D12 and D13. So it's done, all the pin has been named. Now next connection should be for the motor. So what I will do, I will go over here and I will connect this to the motor. So basically this L293D has 4 outputs. 2 goes to one motor, so that one will be as a ground and another will be positive, and vice versa for anti-clockwise direction, and so for the second motor as well. Now this should be the power supply, this should be the grounded, and pin IN1 and IN2 should be for controlling clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, and for the motor 1, and IN3 and IN4 is for controlling motor 3, and this enable pin is used to select which motor you are going to trigger or which motor you are going to start. If the enable pin is not high, then regardless what input you give, the motor will not run. So in order to run the motor, you should make sure that enable 1 and enable 2 pin should be at high. So let's do the connection for those. So what I will do, I will select a power pin over here and place it over here, and one ground pin I will place it over here. Now let's make a connection. So should be connected over here. This should be connected to ground. Enable should be connected to power supply as I mentioned. Enable 2 as well. So it is done. So now what I will do, I will connect this to the Arduino so that it will control the motor in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. So for this I don't want to use this wire, so instead, as I mentioned previously, I will use this kind of pins. So basically these are called terminals, so I will place those terminals and give the name so that internally it will be connected to Arduino itself. So let me go back over here in the terminals. I will click on default and let me place it over here. Similarly I will do it for the pin 7, that is IN2, and I will do it for IN3 and IN4. Let's make the connections. Done. Now let's give the name for this. So I will select the pin. Which one should I select? So I will start from D2 because D0 and D1 are something RX and TX, which I don't prefer in the hardware, because sometimes when you try to reset your controller, this pin will start toggling. So I will start with D2. So I will give this in as D2. Digital pin 2. Please take care of lowercase and higher case, because it is case sensitive. If you give lowercase, it won't work. So make sure you give a proper lowercase and uppercase. Basically it should match with the connection whatever you had mentioned over there. So please make sure regarding that. So D3, this should be D4, and this I will make it as D5. That is done. So these will be connected over here. Let me try to move this. Okay. I'll try to move this a little bit further so that you can see which pin is connected to where. So D2 is IN1 is connected to D2, IN2 is connected to D3, IN3 is connected to D4, IN4 is connected to D5. So this is how all the connection has been established. So the motor driver connection has been done. So now it's time for the sensor. So you need to give the power supply over here and the ground. These two pin goes to Arduino. So let's start with that. So I will go back over here in the terminals. I'll click on power. Let me try to add it over here. No, it will be too far, so I will add it over here. Let me try to connect this. Okay, so I will start with let me make the ground connection. Yes, again I don't want to make entire connection, so I will add a default pin. So let me place it over here and one more over here. Let's do the connection for this. So here already pin 2, 3, 4 and 5 is already occupied, so I will select pin 6 and 7 for this. So pin 6 and pin 7 is connected. Now one more thing, what I see over here is a test pin. Test pin here they had mentioned because since we don't have actual hardware, so we need to give the input for the distance using this pin. So what I will do, I will add a potentiometer over here which will be connected to positive and negative terminal. It connects to the ultrasonic sensor and it will provide the output based on the distance. So for that I'll go in parts again, not here, over here. Here is the parts component. I'll go here and type pot. Let me scroll down. Yeah, here it is, part HG, which is active device. I'll place it over here. Yes. So basically these terminals are used to control the potentiometer value. Let's connect this over here. And one should be grounded and one should be the positive. So let me go back to the terminals, select power over here and ground below. Make these connections. Yes, so potentiometer connection has been done. Now it's time for the LCD. So for LCD we will make all the connections. So what I will do, I will place the terminals again. So click on default. Let's place all the terminals. 4, 5, 46 and D7. Let me try to connect this. Let me zoom it a little bit so that it will be visible. It's done. So here again I need reset and enable pin which should be connected to Arduino. So let me place. let me give the name so that it will be connected to this. So for this I will start with D8. So give the name as D8, D9, D10, D11, D12, and this goes to D13. Okay. So all the connection has been done. Let me try to zoom it. Okay. So all the connection has been done. So here is my motor controller, ultrasonic sensor, the controller, Arduino controller, and this is LCD display just to display what is the distance and whether it is moving forward or backward. So we will keep that part as optional, at least the distance in the LCD screen. So now all the circuit has been done. Now it's time to do the coding.